Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we try to cut straight through the noise and get right to the insights that matter. And today we're embarking on a journey into an idea. It's one that might just fundamentally shift how you approach challenges. Big changes, or even just getting started on something that feels a bit daunting. Our focus for this deep dive is the incredibly fascinating relationship between courage, action, and confidence. It's often misunderstood, I think.
Definitely. Well, we all talk about needing these things, but how do they actually
Yeah.
interact?
Exactly. And the source material we're exploring today offers a really fresh, almost counterintuitive perspective on that. We're diving into some powerful excerpts from a piece simply titled The Action of Courage. It's short, but wow, it's packed with wisdom. So, our mission for you listening in is to unpack this viewpoint. We want to help you maybe reframe how you think about taking that crucial first step, whatever your aspiration might be. Because think about it, right? How often do we find ourselves just waiting, waiting for courage to strike?
Mm-hmm. Like it's this big, booming emotion.
Yeah, like a surge of bravery that has to arrive before we can possibly act. We tell ourselves, oh, I'll do it when I feel ready, or when I feel brave enough.
It's such a common script.
But what if that whole internal script has got it completely backward? What if we've been waiting around for something that, well, it only shows up after we've already started moving? Okay, so let's unpack this. The piece, The Action of Courage, kicks off with this line: Don't wait for courage to bloom in your chest. It rarely knocks before the door of action.
Oh,
That's a pretty direct challenge to that waiting game we all play, isn't it?
it really is.
It's like a gentle but firm nudge saying, stop pacing around waiting for the courage fairy to show up.
Yeah.
That bravery dust, it's not coming before you move.
And what's truly illuminating there, I think, is how immediately it just flips the conventional script.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we're usually taught, our
Right.
culture, even our own inner voice, often says you need to feel courageous, then act. This piece argues no, the feeling, that sense of courage, or even just readiness, it's often a consequence of the action.
Not a prerequisite.
Not at all. And if you think bigger picture, I mean, how many amazing ideas just wither on the vine? How many goals don't get met because people are stuck? Stuck in that waiting room of courage, just hoping for an emotion to magically appear.
Yeah, just waiting.
This insight just dismantles that barrier straight away. It's a huge barrier to progress for so many.
It's such a powerful reframing. It really suggests we're fundamentally misunderstanding the sequence of things.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't stop there. The source then emphasizes the very next line, which honestly I find incredibly relatable. It says, Step first, even if your knees whisper their little fears.
Oh, I love that phrasing.
Me too. It's not saying be fearless, is it? It's really about acting despite the fear.
Exactly.
And that image,
Yeah.
your knees whispering their little fears, it just perfectly captures that quiet internal chatter,
Yeah.
that physical feeling of nerves.
The little hum of anxiety.
Yeah, but it doesn't let it become this like paralyzing roar. It's like, oh, okay, the fear's there, it's whispering, but move anyway.
Indeed. And that brings up a really important question, doesn't it? What if fear isn't actually a stop sign? What if it's just part of the scenery on the journey?
It's just noise.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
The text makes it normal to have that hesitation, those little fears.
Mm.
It acknowledges them, says they're valid, but it still directs you to move forward anyway.
Which feels very practical.
It's a very practical, almost tactical approach to getting past that inertia. It shifts fear from being this huge wall
Right.
to just maybe a, I don't know, slightly annoying travel companion. Something that's allowed to be there, but it doesn't get to drive the car.
Ha! I like that. It doesn't get to dictate the direction.
Exactly. And that makes taking action feel much more achievable, even when you're feeling uncertain. Think about, well, anytime you tried something new, right?
Sir, public speaking, maybe?
Public speaking, a new sport, starting a tough conversation. Those jitters, those whispering knees, they're almost always there. The people who succeed aren't usually the ones who magically have no fear.
No, they're the ones who act through it.
Precisely. They act through it.
That distinction is just so key. And that inertia you mentioned, it often comes from not seeing the whole path clearly, right? Which brings us nicely to the next bit of wisdom from the action of courage.
Mm-hmm.
It continues, taking us deeper into moving forward when things are murky. It says, move through the fog, one shoreless step at a time.
Sureless step. That's another great phrase.
Isn't it? So it's not just about taking that first leap, but about continuing even when you can't see everything clearly. Maybe you can't even see the next few steps.
Right?
That idea of a shoreless step, It just resonates because that's the reality, isn't it? When you start something new.
Absolutely. It acknowledges that,
Mhm.
clarity. That's often a luxury we just don't have when we start something significant.
We wish we did, but we don't.
We really don't. And in fact, often that fog only really starts to lift once you're already moving, once you're in motion.
Because you learn things as you go.
Exactly. You gain perspective, you learn, you adapt, and then the path begins to reveal itself. So, this perspective, it encourages you to actually embrace that initial uncertainty.
Embrace the fog.
Sort of, yeah. Knowing that each sureless step, no matter how small or tentative it feels,
Hmm.
it contributes to discovering the path, or maybe even creating the path as you walk it.
So it's not reckless, it's more like informed improvisation,
That's a great way to put it. Informed improvisation. It's a big shift from trying to plan every single detail perfectly beforehand
which can keep you stuck forever.
to learning and adapting through the action itself. Imagine like trying to navigate a really dense forest in heavy fog.
Okay.
You would just stand there waiting for the sun to magically burn it all off, would you?
No, you'd be there all day.
You'd pick a direction, maybe take a few careful steps, check your bearings,
Yeah.
look around, adjust. Each little movement gives you a tiny bit more information.
That's such a helpful analogy. It really highlights how movement itself can generate clarity. And this isn't just a nice metaphor, is it? I mean, isn't there science behind this? Like how our brains build new pathways?
Oh, absolutely. It's rooted in how our brains work. We build new neural pathways and reinforce our self belief through successfully completing actions, even really small ones.
So every sureless step is literally rewiring your brain.
In a sense, yes. Rewiring it for more confidence, making the next step feel a little bit easier.
Okay, so to make sure we really get this, what's a common trap people fall into when they try to apply this, when they try to take that sureless step?
Oh, a very common trap is waiting for the big step. They hear take a step, and they immediately picture some huge monumental leap.
Right, something overwhelming.
Exactly. But the piece says one sureless step at a time. That implies small, manageable actions. If your goal is, say, writing a book,
Okay.
waiting for the courage to write the entire first chapter all at once, that's the trap. The sureless step might just be opening the document,
Or writing one sentence.
or writing one sentence, or maybe just outlining one paragraph. These tiny acts, even when you feel uncertain, they build momentum.
That makes sense. Any other traps?
Another one is looking for external validation too early. Needing someone else to tell you you're doing okay right away.
Yeah.
This kind of confidence, the piece suggests, it needs to be forged inside you first, through your own actions, your own experiences, not just from others patting you on the back.
That's a crucial point, the power of the small step. It tackles that feeling of being overwhelmed head on. And now, okay, here's where it gets really juicy, I think. The part that ties it all together with this incredibly powerful image.
Yes, the culmination.
The piece finishes with this brilliant metaphor. It offers such a fresh lens on what confidence actually is. It says, for confidence is not the lamp that lights the path.
Right.
It is the flame born from the friction of walking. Just sit with that for a second.
It completely redefines confidence, doesn't it? We usually think of confidence as like this pre-existing thing you have to acquire, like a fully charged battery, maybe.
Yeah, something you carry with you to light the way.
Exactly. But the text says no, it's something totally different. Confidence is an outcome. It's a byproduct
A byproduct of what?
of the effort, of the learning, the challenges you face during that friction of walking.
The friction of those sureless steps.
Precisely. The more you act, the more you engage, the more friction you create with those small, uncertain steps. And the brighter that flame of confidence starts to burn,
So it shifts confidence from being something you need before you start.
to being the reward you get for starting. Something you earn through engaging with the process, not something you must possess just to begin.
That is a crucial distinction, especially for anyone who feels stuck because they think they lack confidence.
Absolutely. And it also challenges that whole fake it till you make it idea a bit.
Yeah.
Well, not by dismissing trying to act confident, but by emphasizing that real lasting confidence isn't just about the outward show, it's built through actual tangible progress.
Hmm.
Through learning from the friction. You're not just pretending, you're actively becoming more confident through doing.
It feels incredibly empowering because so many of us are told, build your confidence first, do affirmations, visualize success.
Right. Build it up before tackling the goal.
Yeah, But this perspective suggests the goal itself and the small actions towards it, those are the building blocks of confidence.
Exactly.
So, how can someone listening maximize this friction for building confidence? Is it just about acting, or is there more to it?
Well, maximizing the friction, maybe counterintuitively, involves embracing a bit of discomfort and focusing on the learning.
Okay,
When you take that sureless step, you're putting yourself in a situation where, yeah, you might stumble. You'll definitely learn something new. You'll probably have to adapt.
that's the friction.
That's the friction, the effort of solving a problem, maybe the humility of making a mistake and correcting it, the push to just keep going when it feels hard.
Hmm.
All of that fuels the flame.
So, it's about being present in the action.
Being present, being intentional, reflecting on what you're learning from that friction, and really acknowledging your own progress, however tiny it feels.
Celebrating the small wins.
Yes, celebrate those tiny wins. If your sureless step was just sending that difficult email you've been avoiding,
Hmm.
the moment you hit send, that's a point of friction resolved and a tiny flame ignites. Recognizing that spark and building on it, that's key.
It sounds a bit like principles from, say, cognitive behavioral therapy, taking small steps to reframe thoughts.
It aligns very well, actually. Taking those small exposure based steps helps you challenge anxious thoughts and build real self efficacy, which is basically belief in your own ability.
That really hits home. It's not about the grand heroic gesture, it's about the consistent, sometimes uncomfortable but small actions. So, wrapping this up, what does all this mean for you listening right now? It means you don't need that sudden surge of bravery. You don't need a perfect, foolproof plan.
You don't even need to feel confident to start.
Exactly. The message from the action of courage is, I think, incredibly clear and liberating. You just need to take that first sureless step,
Just one.
just one. Knowing that the courage and the confidence you're looking for, they aren't waiting for you back at the starting line. They're forged, they're built, they get ignited in the act itself.
They emerge from the process.
From the very process of moving forward, even when it feels uncertain. It's about choosing to be a participant, not just a spectator, in your own growth. So, this deep dive into the action of courage, it really reminds us that maybe our common understanding of courage and confidence, it might just be completely backwards.
It seems that way.
The path to becoming genuinely confident, genuinely courageous, it isn't about waiting for some feeling to wash over you before you act,
No, it's about initiating an action, even a tiny one.
and letting those qualities develop through the experience.
And the real takeaway here is just how empowering that is. Don't let the feeling that you lack courage or confidence hold you back from starting something important to you.
Don't let the absence be an excuse.
Exactly. Just begin, take that step, and trust that those qualities will emerge and actually get stronger through your effort, through your experience.
Mm.
It really encourages a bias towards action over just endless contemplation,
Analysis paralysis.
right? Especially when you're facing something daunting or a new challenge. It's a powerful call just to move. It reminds us that inaction is often the real obstacle, not how hard the task actually is.
It lets you be okay with imperfection.
And trust in the discovery that only comes with being in motion.
Okay, so as you, our listener, wrap up this deep dive with us, here's something to think about. What's one sureless step you could take today?
Hmm.
Even with those knees whispering their little fears, what's one small step you could take to ignite that flame born from the friction of walking in your own life?
What's that one thing you've been waiting for?
Waiting for the courage, waiting for the confidence, a new project, maybe a difficult conversation, a personal goal you've put off. Just try taking a single, small, uncertain step.
See what happens.
Yeah. See how that friction starts to generate its own little light. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We really invite you to reflect on this powerful idea and just see how it might change your approach to, well, maybe